what's going on, beautiful jellyfish? It's Tracy. Thanks so much for taking time today to hang out with me. I really appreciate it. And in today's video, I'm going to be doing my haul. I have quite a lot of things to share with you guys. I didn't honestly realize sometimes how much I accumulate, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, I really need to film this and get this out of the way. So anyways, let's just jump into it. So I did get a care package sent to me by my friend Koji, and he sent me a couple things. He first off sent me this Dark Magician Girl deck box. Yu-Gi-Oh is like one of those like comfort shows to me. Absolutely love it. And y'all, I'm not gonna do a good job of showing this off, but this like Dark Magician Girl playmat, it's so cool. Oh my gosh, I love this. I love this. I love this. I'm so excited. I do still have my Tassipur playmat. I mean, I use that playmat for years. And that Tassipur playmat is staying, but it is going into where we keep like our other playmats and stuff. So anyways, yeah, let's just jump into it. Let's start talking about a couple of cards. Let's first start with Omnath. So I got 4 cards. I first have Sylvan Ranger. I was looking for a couple of new mana like acceleration cards and all that kind of stuff, and this card kind of popped up on my radar, like that it's a 1/1. That's all about lands. I next up got Burgeoning. Sometimes I like look at cards and I'm like, where did I get this and when did I get this? I'm fairly certain I got this in a Card Kingdom order. It was just one of those things that we sold a bunch of cards, and this is one of the things I got, I'm fairly certain. Next up, I got Wayward Sawtooth. This card is not new. It is new to me though. I have not owned this card and decided that it would be a really good one to pick up. I love being able to play additional lands on each of my turns. And then I have another new card to me. This came out in Streets of New Capenna. It is called Topiary Stomper. Really, 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 really cool card. I like that it tutors for basic and you put it on the battlefield tapped. And it's got vigilance. It's a good card. So that is it for Omnath. And next up, I have 2 cards simply for ladies. One of them is another card that Koji sent me, which is the Extended Borderless Soul Ring art, which is just such good Soul Ring art. It's the OG. It's classic, but it's so good. Next up is a card that it's been on my radar, but I've never played with it. And then Paul has this, and I'm like, I need to pick one up. And I finally picked up a Champion of Lambhold. This card's ridiculous. I feel like I picked this foil up for ladies, and then I have it on my list to get for my token deck, Queen Alenal. I'm pretty sure I have a non-foil in there. I can't remember. If not, it's on my wish list to get. But anyways, great card. Okay, Tasigur. I know what you're thinking. Tracy, you don't normally have pieces for Tasigur. And that is very true. I don't normally have pieces for Tasigur. But I got 2 new things. And the first off is a card that is definitely not new. But I was like, this card just seems so good. And that is Persist. Not a very expensive card too, so if you're looking for some sort of graveyard recursion, I would definitely look into it. It is a non-legendary, so it's just something to note, but I have a lot of really solid targets in Tasigur. I've yet to draw this card, but it's stunning. I love the background. I think it's absolutely pretty. I think I got this for like $1 or $2. It's great. And next up, another new card to me is Hostile Negotiations. This card reminds me a lot of Fact or Fiction, and Fact or Fiction is literally one of my favorite Magic cards, so yeah, we got that. Okay, next up we have Mugus. We have a couple of things. Mugus is actually very near foil, which is really exciting. I first got a Terramorphic Expanse. I think that I got a bunch of Commander Master stuff. Like I feel like this haul is pretty old in the sense of like the stuff I got. Like a lot of this stuff, it feels like I got this a really long time ago. Anyways, yeah, Terramorphic Expanse. I got the foil. Same thing with Rankle. Once this was decided to be reprinted, I had to pick it up because the foil for Rankle was really expensive for a really long time, which is why I've never picked it up. I've always wanted to run this card. I think it's really cool. I've yet to draw it, but I'm excited about that. Next up, we have Command Tower foil. Love Command Tower. Then I have Victimize. I really like Victimize. It's a really good card. I run this in this deck. I run it in Tasigur, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if I've cut it in Tasigur. I'm pretty sure that I run this card. I'm fairly certain. Then I have Orpheomancer. This has been on my list to pick up for such a long time. This is is it Secret Lair, I believe? I'm not 100% sure, but I love this art and I have wanted to run this card. I think this card is so fun. It's like such a fun card. And then I have Soul Shatter, which I saw my friends believe my friend Roberto playing. I was like, oh my gosh, I have to pick this up for Mugus because it's sacrifice theme and it just feels perfect. Okay, we have 3 cards for Riku. The first up we have is Reality Shift. I was so excited when these were announced to be reprinted in Commander Masters because I picked up a couple of these. You're going to see them in this haul. I love Reality Shift. It's one of my favorite blue like removal spells. It's super simple to get to manifest, but honestly, like you don't care. And it gets to exile creature, which I love. It's at instant speed. I love this card, especially copied. Like if you copy this with Riku, it just makes it absolutely ridiculous. Then I have a Mina and Zen. I was looking for a couple ways to accelerate in Riku because that is like the one deck where I like need every single land in that deck because like I just have so many things to do constantly with my mana and I'm copying stuff and all this stuff. I love Mina and Zen. It's great. And similar to that, I also have Wayward Sawtooth. So I got another one of those. Good card. Okay. Next up, let's talk about Alila. So one of the things that Koji had sent me is, I'm not going to show you all of them, but I had got a bunch of the Pokemon lands. I don't know what you guys call these. I call them Pokemon lands, but I got a bunch of them. So Alila now has all the foil lands, which is really exciting. And then I took the other ones and put them in Omnath, I believe is what I did with them. So all those decks have the full matching land sets. I'm really into my lands matching, and I'll talk about a couple more projects. I'm just showing one, but obviously there was a bunch more. I just didn't want to pull them out. So that, okay, so for Alila, I have the foil Soul Ring. Again, I picked up a bunch of stuff from Commander Masters or Commander Legends. I really should probably know what set that was, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Okay, another one of the things that I picked up is a land tax. I love land tax. I put this in like so many of my weight decks. I think all of them. It's a great, great card. I also got Riptide Laboratory. This card is really cool. If you're playing, even if you're not playing like Wizard Tribal, but you're playing your wizard as your commander, I would really recommend this. Alila is a wizard. And so what's really cool about this is I can have a little bit ways of protecting her, which I really like. Next up I have is Eye of Vecna. I think I just picked this up and then didn't really have a plan for it, which is pretty unusual for me. Usually I know when I'm picking up a card, I know exactly where it's going. I like Eye of Vecna. I think this is a really cool card. It's a really good colorless card draw option if you're playing colors that might not necessarily have card draw. I definitely have a couple of good ways to do card draw in Alila. I like this one. It does automatically, when it enters the battlefield, you draw a card and you lose 2 life. So even if it does die, you still get a little bit of value from it. And then being your upkeep, you can pay 2. And if you do, you get to draw a card. You do lose a life, but I honestly don't think it's a big deal. Good card. Next up, I have Leyline of Anticipation. This is from Wilds of Eldraine. If you're looking for Leyline of Anticipation, it's at a great price right now. I think I got this for like maybe $1 or something like that. It was not expensive. By the way, all of these are really, really pretty. The borderless Enchanting Tales, I really, really enjoy them. I think I did a great job with them. I love Leyline of Anticipation. I love Flash. And I also have another borderless card here, which this art is absolutely stunning, and that is Copy Enchantment. What I love so much about Copy Enchantment is it's any enchantment on the battlefield. It's not just ones you have. I have a lot of enchantments because I'm running Leela. I have a mix between artifacts and enchantments, but I absolutely love this card, and I love this art. It is absolutely stunning. So that is it for Alila. Next up, we have Marchesa. Marchesa, I just did the deck on it, but I placed an order and I got a bunch of new cards. I got the Charcoal Diamond. This is the, I forgot what set this is from, but I have the other ones, but for some reason I just never got the Charcoal Diamond. It's like 20 cents, so I picked that up. I also got Thalia. I have not had Thalia in this deck. This is like a new to Marchesa deck card, but I've played with Thalia in the past. She's great. Creatures and non-basic lands. ETB under the battlefield tapped, which is really awesome. And she's got first strike, so. Next up, I got General Enforcer. I got the foil. I accidentally ordered the non-foil a bit ago. I do that sometimes. I double and triple check to make sure that I get the foil. I love General's Enforcers. Its legendary humans are indestructible, which is awesome. And I have a ton of legendary humans in Marchesa. Marchesa is one example, but this card's really, really good. And then I can exile a card to get a 1/1 human. And then I got Skyline Despot. This card's really cool. It ETBs and you become the monarch, and then at the beginning of your upkeep, if you're the monarch, you get a 5/5. Flying is my weakness in Marchesa, and so I wanted a little bit of ways to have a little bit of flying, and so I decided to pick this card up. And I like that it gets tokens if you're the monarch, and it's also very inexpensive. It's like a 40-cent card, so Okay, let's talk about Grand Arbiter. Grand Arbiter got a couple of new things. So with that, I got the remaining lands that I needed. These were the lands that I decided. I got a bunch of them. So I have all the foil lands in this deck, and this is so pretty. This is from Ravnica, City of Guilds, and the only downside is that, and you can like so clearly see it, like not curled, like you can clearly see that difference. So these need to flatten. I put them on some thick books and they are still not flat. So hopefully with some shuffling and that sort of stuff, they will even themselves out. I tend to find this with older foils. I get asked this question sometimes, like, do you find with your foils that they do curl? Older foils, I do. New foils, not as much. So anyways, yeah, I love this Plains. I think it is absolutely stunning. Oh, so pretty. The architecture in that is great. Apparently I got a Meddling Mage foil. I don't remember picking this up, but I did. I love Meddling Mage. My favorite thing to do is name somebody's commander. It's super mean, but you know, I'm not a nice person when I play Magic, so. Next up I have Spellseeker foil. I really enjoy Spellseeker. I feel like a lot of people see this and they're like, oh, you know, go get my Cyclonic Rift and stuff. And don't get me wrong, sometimes that is the option. I just like Spellseeker for other things too. I mean, I've got a lot of targets with, you know, mana value 2 or less, instant or sorceries. It is instant or sorcery, so you can get either of those, which I like. Yeah, Spellseeker's a good card, and then you also the 1/1. So this might be a good card to put in Tasigur too, because I feel like I got a lot of good targets for that. Next up, I have Archaeomancer. If I'm playing blue, there's a really good chance that I'm playing with this card. I really like it. You know, you get an instant or sorcery back from your graveyard to your hand, then you're left with a 1/2. Good card. Again, another thing that I also got is a foil Expedition Map. Do I remember picking this up? No, but I did. And then I got another land tax. This was in my, you know what's funny is I'm thinking about this because I feel like this was in my Card Kingdom order, but guys, I feel like I also picked up Smothering Ties in that order, but maybe this was a separate order that I got because I thought that I picked up them together. But anyways, I love land tax. This is the second one that I've shown. I think I got these for like 25. Maybe it was a little bit more. Maybe it was 30 for the foil. But anyways, okay. Next up, I got a bunch of things for AC. AC got a lot of new toys. I did mention my lands. These are the lands that I decided to pick for the deck. So that all my lands match, and I got all of the rest of them, so they're all done. These are from, I believe it's Throne of Eldraine. I honestly don't know symbols, but I'm pretty sure it's Throne of Eldraine. I absolutely love them. I think they're so stunning. They're like not doing justice in foil, but I love the darker foil. Oh my god, this island is so pretty. I love them. So I got those. Then I also got another Command Tower foil. Of course, I got a couple lands for this deck. I got a Rogue's Passage foil because, I don't know. I feel like making like AC unblockable or other things unblockable is really good. I don't really have like a specific target. Like I don't always kill people with AC or like my other things, but I do have some big creatures in there. In that deck. Then I got a Simic Growth Chamber. I like this because you get the trigger with AC, and then that land goes to the hands. You have another guaranteed land supply, which is really cool. I thought that I had a foil one of these, and honestly, I might have an extra foil of these, and I just ordered one, but it was like 30 cents, so it's fine. I got another one of those Topiary Stompers that I mentioned earlier in Omnath, and I also got another Sylvan Ranger. Good card. I might also put this, if I find any more Manic Solution, I might put this in Tasigur too. It's a good Skull Clamp target. Then I got a foil Courser of Crewfix. I love Courser. I run this in like all my green decks. It's a great card. I love it. A little bit of life gain. I got a Solemn Simulacrum foil. This is another card I really like. You can get this foil for like $2, $1 or $2. It's really good. Beast Whisper, oh, such a good card. I love Beast Whisper, and I'm so excited that I get to play it in this deck because I have Beast Whisper in Tasigur as well. I haven't played Tasigur in a minute though, and I haven't drawn it, so but I do love Beast Whisper. I play a bunch of creatures. I love drawing cards, so there you go. I also have a foil Scattershot Claim. I'm pretty sure it's also, for some reason, this foiling is very understated. It's not really showing up very well in real life and on camera, but anyways, this card is really cool. I really like Sky Shard Claim. I'm pretty sure this is one of the cards that Koji sent me. I'm pretty sure. Great card. Next up, I have another one of those Reality Shifts. I also really like it when the foil's like darker too. Like it's like a darker card. I think it makes the foil look really cool. Then I got a Bean of Progress foil. Very cool. I love Bean of Progress. It's a great card. It was funny. I was like playing AC and I realized that I didn't have this card. And I was like, oh my gosh, I need to pick, I have to order it. So I put it on my list and I picked it up the next time I ordered cards because Bean is such a good card. Like when I'm in a situation where I want this card, and I think I was like tutoring and I was like, I need this card. It was like the card to get at the moment. In the last card, I got this in a trade, very exciting, is Galta Stampede Tyrant. This was one of the top cards that I knew I wanted to get. I'm blanking on what this symbol's from. I'm blanking on what this card... Ixalan. Ixalan is what this is from. This card is so incredibly cool, and I've really, really enjoyed having this card. I do this. I also have Prime Speakers on it in the deck, so it's a great Prime Speaker target. It's also got Trample. You get to put a bunch of creatures into the battlefield. Next up, we have Reen, and we got a bunch of things. The first card I got is Wiltleaf Liege, and it's been a while since I've played with this card. I feel like in the past I've had this, but I can't remember what deck. We had like a lot of them at one point. And it was funny because I remember this card actually being really expensive at one point. It's not anymore. I think I got this for like under $1 for the foil, which is awesome. It's a buff. And then if an ability has you discard this card, you can put it onto the battlefield, which is really cool. I feel like sometimes there's like random sporadic discard effects. So the fact that like I can put this on the battlefield for free 99, I'm a fan of. Next up I got is Chromatic Lantern foil. When this was announced to be in that Commander product, I picked this up because I needed the foil and it was not expensive. I think I got it for like $5. So this is a new card to me. I don't remember what set this came out in, guys. I don't know set symbols. So like if you're like, Tracy, it says right there, I don't know what that means to me. I think that this card is so incredibly cool. I saw Paul playing with it in his Karametra deck, and I was like, I have to pick this up and put it in Reen. So basically, it ETBs, and you tutor for a basic forest and a basic plains. Now, you do put them into your hand, but I don't think that that's a problem because you're left with a 4/4, and then players can't pay life or sack non-land permanents to cast spells or activities. This shuts down so many things. And with Reen too, if this dies, I get to bring it back to my hand, which is really cool. So it's hard to remove. Love that. I can't wait to draw this card. I think it's great. I also have Radha, Heir to Keld, newer card to me. Good card. You know, I'm not really finding myself using the red that when I get attacked. I'm just really using this for a mana dork, but I needed a little bit of a mana dork. So there you go. Oh, I love this card. Galta and Marvin is such a fun card. It's so good. It's massive, which like this is like the biggest creature I believe in this deck. Yeah, it is. It's massive. And I have so many buffs like that. Wiltleaf Liege, like this becoming a 14/14. Hello with Trample. Ridiculous. It's got this really cool ability. When it attacks, you either get a tapped dino, or you get vampire tokens, equal to number of other attacking creatures. It's a great card. Next up, I have Blade Historian because my creatures just need to hit harder in Reen, I guess, is kind of what I thought. I don't think I've drawn this card yet in this deck, I don't believe, but I do think that the Blade Historian is a good card. It is only attacking creatures, but, you know, I'm going to be attacking. Next up I have is Ruby Daring Tracker. Awesome little mana dork. I really like it. What I also really like about Ruby is that it does get buffed. So for example, when it attacks, if I have a creature, another creature with power 4 or greater, it gets +2/+2, which is really easy because that's my commander and many of the other things in the deck. Next up I have is Mary, Esquire of Rohan. This card is so cool. The first strike, as long as it's equipped, I don't really have any equipments, but it's got haste, which I love. And then if I attack with her and another legendary creature, which either my commander or with any of my other legendaries, like I have a ton, like this, for example, is considered a legendary. So if it's like real early game, like I don't even have it yet, I get to draw a card, which is so cool. I'm really excited. I haven't drawn this card yet, but I think it's really cool. And then I have this card I just got, so I have not drawn it yet, but that is Kutsil. I think this card's really cool. Your opponents can't cast spells during my turn at all, completely, during my turn. I love that. It's like a 3/3 for 3. That's like ridiculous. And then whenever one of our creatures with power greater than its base power deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Now, what's really great about this card is that with my commander, all of my creatures get that buff. But if I don't have my commander, I have quite a lot of buffs like Wilt Leaf Liege in the deck, so that way I'm able to do that. So this deck got so many new toys, which I really like. And I finally picked up an Iroas. This was one of my Card Kingdom orders. This card had always just been like really expensive, and I just never really wanted to pick it up. Not that I didn't want to run it, but it was just always like a little bit more expensive. And I had the Card Kingdom order, and I was like, they had it in stock, and it was like $25, and I was like, I'm picking it up. This is a Secret Lair version. I think Iroas is so incredibly cool. Creatures I control have Menace, which is crazy. Like I said, I'm so aggressive in this deck, which I love. And then I get some preventable damage that would be dealt to attacking creatures you control, which is great. And he's also like a 7/4 for 4. I mean, you have to have the devotion, but I honestly find like with my deck, because I have a lot of multicolor, like all my creatures are multicolor, but I have like these symbols, like it's going to be really easy to get. It already starts with 2, so all I need is 5 more. So not a hard thing to do. And the last card and the last deck is my Angel deck. Guys, I have almost fully foiled out that deck, which is so incredibly exciting, and Paul knows that it's a priority of mine. And so for Christmas, we set a slightly smaller budget than we kind of normally do, and there were other things that I wanted to get for Christmas, but this was the one card that he got, which was Archangel of Ties. I love Archangel of Ties. It's always been a card that has always just been a little bit more expensive than I've ever really been willing to pay. And to be honest with you guys, I've been really waiting for this card to get a reprint. I believe it's only ever been printed in Origins, which came out in 2015. So like we're going on like, what is that? Like 9 years that this card hasn't been printed, which is a really long time. And I honestly feel like this would be a really great Secret Lair card. I'm really just not sure why this hasn't been reprinted. Stuff like that always really confuses me, because I think throw this in a Secret Lair and like make it a little like Death and Taxes or a little Angel one or something. I don't know. Anyways, this card is awesome. You know, it protects you. And they have to pay. I love it. Death and Taxes, we love it, and I'm really excited. I also did get, as a minor note, unfortunately, the sparkly sleeves, which I love. Hold up, do I have a sparkly sleeve nearby that I can show you? So I have these pink sparkly textured sleeves. ASMR for you. Okay, so I have these pink sparkly sleeves, and the problem with them is, and I know you're thinking, how can there literally be a problem? No, the problem with them is that they are really hard to shuffle, and they don't shuffle well. And so I honestly, guys, just came to, and also too, a lot of them, I mean, I had these for years. This one is not a good, well, you can kind of see it there. It was like, a lot of them were like peeling up, and I just was like, this is just so not like sustainable. And I don't feel like I was getting good shuffles with Avacyn. Not that my draws were bad, but I just didn't feel like I was getting good shuffles with them. So I was like, I just need to like get new sleeves. So I got these new Dragon Shield mats. They're like this cream color. So there you go. So anyways, guys, that is everything for my haul. I'd really like to know what cards you've picked up recently. And yeah, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel if you're not already, and I'll catch you on my next one.